Hey, so y'all, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Got some people that don't like me do my Facebook lives. They probably don't like me do my YouTube lives or my YouTube videos either, but that's okay. Because you know why? Because ain't nobody going to stop me. Ain't nobody going to stop me, baby. I'm boss. I'm boss. Me. My Facebook. My YouTube account. My Facebook account. Baby, I'm boss. Ain't nobody going to stop me. Complain, talk shit, talk all you want to say. You don't watch nothing, just complain, just talk, but you don't look for any more information. You don't watch anything. That's okay. Whoever's doing that stuff, that's all right. Because I'm going to keep trucking, baby. I'm going to keep moving, baby. Because I'm boss. Me. Nobody going to stop me. Now, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Said I was going to do a video about things I learned from my mom. And here it is. Man of my word, like a man. All right, here's some things I learned from my mom. I want to start with the most important thing. One of the most important things I learned from her is to never hit your kids. You can ground them and stuff like that, but I think that's one of the most important things. She never hit me, never. Not whooping, none of that. She did ground me, and when I didn't pick up my toys, she would she would hide. She hid on my toys and stuff like that, and then gave them all back to me on Christmas. And then, basically that was like the best Christmas present, was getting all my toys back that I couldn't find anymore. And you know what? I learned to clean up my stuff. That was a good lesson. I learned to put stuff back where I got it from, be clean. That was a good lesson I learned. Okay? Didn't have to get whooping, none of that. That's just what she just did it on her own. You know what I'm saying? It's good. One other really important thing I learned that be careful what type of people you got around your kids, because with her, got abused and stuff, physically abused by a guy that she was with, and tried telling her whatever, but it didn't work out. So, thing is that stuff can be happening behind your back when you're not there, while you're at work, and if that person doesn't got a job, and if that person doesn't get a job because he didn't, the person that she was with, not my actual dad, but the person that she was with at this time, didn't have a job, and he didn't want to get a job. So he had all the time where my mom was working, doing everything. Okay, mom was cleaning, mom was going to work. Like, she had to work late. She came home at 11 o'clock at night. And I learned from her that if you got another person and you got kids, they should be, y'all should be like switching off and taking turns working. But this dude never worked. So he had all the time and ever to beat me and my sister or whatever. But that's one of the things I learned from my mom with that. Another thing I learned from my mom is one of the most important things that made a switch for me. Okay, well, my dad taught me how to fish, is what my grandpa. What my dad told me is that what you do when you start catching sunfish and bluegill is you don't put them back in the water because you don't want to catch that same fish. Well, after about, I get around age 21, so I was like age 13, I learned that from him, okay, early. So when I got with my mom, and she actually went fishing with me. She went fishing with me, I think I was like, I don't know, like 21 or 19, I don't remember, but 21 or 19 years old, or 20, my mom went fishing with me. I did the same thing that my dad taught me to do. I was catching bluegill and sunfish, and I was wanting to catch catfish and bass and things like that. So I threw them out toward the side, and I didn't do anything with them. Well, my mom was there. She came over, and she was like, oh, look at him. He's suffering. He's a poor little fish. Put him back in the water. She said, if you're not going to use them, and if you're not going to eat them, put them back in the water and let them live. She said, you don't waste life. Ever since then, I switched, because like the love for my mom somehow transferred to the fish when she held the fish, and she's like, look at this fish. And I didn't think my mom was ever going to touch a fish. She didn't seem like that kind of lady. But, just to teach me something valuable, she did. And ever since then, I made that switch. I don't do it my dad's way anymore. I do it my mom's way. You know what I'm saying? I have more love and care for animals, and I see them as better life. And it's not just, it's not just like a means to an end of your own means. You know what I'm saying? That's still a life. You don't waste life. If you're not going to eat it, you don't waste life. You got to use that some way. You got to use it. You got to use that life in some way, like either as bait. It has to have a purpose. You can't just waste life, like just throwing it out, you know, stuff like that. So that was a really big lesson that I carry with me forever. And I always put the fish back. If I catch a bluegill, I'll either will eat it or I'll put it back. If I catch a sunfish, I'll eat it or put it back. So that's what I would do. Or I would use it like as cut bait or something like that to catch a bigger fish, a catfish or something like that. All other fish will go back in the pond, lake, stream, river, whatever. And so that's another thing. Another thing is warm welcomes. I learned from my mom. Warm welcome home. So when my mom would come home, okay, she would come home, she would say, "Hi, babies," and she would say that to me, my sister. And that brought a very happy energy into the home. And yes, I was just with my mom, and then my mom wasn't with my actual dad at this time. But yeah, when she would come home and she would say, "Hi, babies," she would be happy to see us. And we would just, just that energy that she would come home and be so happy to see us was great. You know what I'm saying? And that right there was just like, to me, that's the shit to me. For me, that's it. That's where it's at, where your parent shows that they actually love you and they care about you as soon as they walk in that door. And so I learned to do that. When I come home, I say, hey, what's up? I say, "Hey, babe, what's up?" I say the same thing. I do the same thing because I have a certain energy when I come home. It's good energy. It's good. You know what I'm saying? You get to feel love. You feel compassion. You feel great whenever I come home. Same thing as what my mom was doing. When my mom came home, she said those type of things. She would bring that happy energy into the home. So, which is important, And let's see. Also, I learned from my mom to actually, if somebody tells you something crazy and they try to get you to see, you should try to see. I remember when I was always telling my mom about me seeing spirits and stuff, and she told me to, I don't know where I was at, or I don't know, maybe it's my grandma's house or something, but my mom was like, she wanted me to go upstairs, and I was like, "Mom, I can't." It was, what? It was just like that boy on Sixth Sense. It was just like him. And she's like, she wanted me to go upstairs. I'm like, "Mom, I can't go upstairs." She's like, "Why?" I was like, "Because there's something up there." And she's like, "What's up there? Show me." She said, "Point to him." And I did. I was like, I pointed to him, and it was a shadow being. It was like a humanoid figure, but just a shadow though, that can move around and stuff. But it wasn't like a shadow on the wall. It was like a shadow, 3D type of shadow figure that looked like human and it looked male. And my mom saw it, and then she was like, "Oh, you leave my boy alone. You leave him alone." And then after that, I didn't feel weird and crazy anymore, because it's like she actually was the only person to try and actually attempt to see what I saw and actually believe me, and she actually gave it a shot. And then when she saw it, she saw that shadow being upon the steps, that shadow person, she was able to better protect me and things like that. And that was like a losing battle, because who's going to protect you from paranormal experiences and ghosts and stuff like that? So, oh, come on. So yeah, who's gonna do that? You know what I'm saying? And so basically that's it. Oh, I remember when she would teach me, like, if you get a cut or a bruise, or if you get like a cut or a wound or something, you got an open wound, you got to clean it with soap and water first, and then you got to use peroxide. She would use alcohol, burn so bad. It's like, "Oh, it's cleaning it. That's why it burned." Oh, I hated it. So she would use peroxide instead. So that's what I would do. Use peroxide. Then you would use some ointment, okay? And then you would use some ointment, and you would just put a little bit of ointment on the Band-Aid and bandage it up with the ointment, and that'll help it out. And that's what I learned from her. You got to take care of open wounds kind of fast. If you get an open wound, that's what you do. Soap and water, peroxide, ointment, Band-Aid, boom. Another thing is that I learned from my mom is that if you have let's say like a thorn, or you get something stuck in you, you know what I'm saying, like a fishing hook or a thorn or something like that, Like I remember I was little and I had a thorn stuck in my foot, and it was like it hurt and I couldn't walk. And so, hey Versha, and then my mom, she just yanked. I was like complaining. And I was like, no, mom, it hurt. I had a thorn in my foot, like from a rose thorn. And I was like, no, take it out slow because it hurt. But I don't remember how old I was, probably 6, I don't know. So I remember that she just yanked it out and the pain was just gone like that. Like I didn't feel all that pain. So if you kind of like have one of that type of incident, something stuck in you, a splinter or whatever, you just want to yank that mug out, because the more you fiddle with it, the slower you go, the more pain you're going to feel. So it's just better to just yank that out. Another thing I learned from my mom, this might be the last thing. Well, 2 major things actually. Another thing I learned from my mom is that like if you don't pay attention to your kids and the abuse that they're going through and they're telling other people, well, if those other people get involved and they call child services or whatever else they call, your kids can actually get taken away from you. I remember I got taken away from my mom, and my dad obtained custody of me and my sister. We was in the car, and my mom had like just a broken look on her face that I never want to see again in my life. And I realized that, man, I messed up telling other people and telling my dad and telling people about the abuse he was going through. So I feel like I failed my mom when I messed up. And so I learned that, your kids can get taken from you, like based off of their experience that are going on at home. Like if it's really that bad, and like, because I would have to go to school with bruises, and I go to school with like a big gash in my head from my head being bashed in the sink, and and school looks at that, and so once school gets involved, your kids can get taken from you. Some of the things that I learned in that situation, from my mom living with her, and so, someone you don't want to see, something you don't want ever that won't happen. So protect your kids, and if you can, if you can stop any abuse that you can, what you want to do is you want to like not have them. You want to like try to protect them or something to the point where they won't tell teachers, where your kids won't tell teachers about, the other person abusing them or hitting them or whatever. And you gotta like cover up the abuse spots. But if it's on their face, you can't cover that up. You know what I'm saying? Telling the teachers, oh, I fell down the steps a whole bunch of times, that shit didn't work. You know what I'm saying? That, or I got in a fight. That saying that stuff that didn't always work. They knew stuff was wrong, especially because I had like puncture wounds from a board with nails in it. And so like they knew this stuff was just not right. That's not no falling down the steps. That's not no getting into a fight. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's always new bruises, new wounds. You know what I'm saying? Teachers look at that. When you change clothes for gym, you know what I mean, and you wear gym shorts and you wear, you can't wear pants all the time. You got to wear gym shorts and you got to wear a t-shirt. It's going to show bruises and stuff from your kids, so they're going to know. But that is what that is. So that's another thing I learned from my mom. Also, that if you have kids and you're not ready for that, remember with my mom, like not to have kids and then not be ready. I also learned that from my mom, because during the early beginnings, like before I was 7, 8, I was like 6, 5, maybe 6 and 5 and 4 maybe. My mom had dropped me and my sister off on our aunts, lived with our aunts for a while, because she said that she'll come back and get us when she has better living conditions. Because I remember right before she did that, we went to her house, and all she had was just a 1-bedroom apartment. I mean, that was it. But she got 2 kids, me and my sister. So she dropped us off with our aunts, and we lived with our aunts for like, I felt like maybe 2 years or 3 years. And then my mom came back, and then she got me and my sister, and then we lived with her. But now this time, she actually has 2 bedrooms. She's got 1 bedroom. Me and my sister share with a bunk bed, and a bedroom for her and the abusive guy she's with. So, I guess if you it's like I learned to not have kids when you're not ready, especially if you don't got the type of space. You got to be ready. Otherwise, you'll be dumping your kids off on somebody else for years if you have that support. Because if you don't have that type of support, then you're stuck with it, and then you're stuck with it, having your kids be in a bad situation. I also learned that, like, the homelessness too. Like, I also learned what that was for the first time living with my mom. Where you're just sleeping in the car, and things like that. Because I remember when she like lost her apartment and everything because her boyfriend didn't work at the time. He didn't work. He only beat me, my sister, and that's all he got pleasure out of doing. That's all he ever did. And my mom took care of everything, paid her all the bills, and she worked. And that ended up causing her to lose the apartment and everything, and that caused us to be homeless. And we had to like sleep at different people's houses. That coworkers, that was nice enough that my mom had was her friends that we knew. We didn't sleep there very long. We would mostly sleep in the car and some shit like that. Whenever we got a chance, we would like sleep at this one lady's house or this one dude's house. And yeah, it's dangerous because they're kind of like strangers and you got 2 kids. But this is only the people that she can trust. You know what I'm saying? And so after that, she got a better place, a house. She had to like switch jobs, and that's another thing. Like when you black, okay, jobs ain't easy to get, and you can easily lose your job, and then it's hard to get another job when you black. So it's like it's really hard because it's like that racial discrimination is really bad. Oh, what's up, Mark? So I learned not to have kids from that because if you can't, if jobs is hard, like I remember when jobs was hard for her to find, okay, and she was like a nurse, she had her CNA and all this, or RN or something like that. And jobs I remember there used to be Blockbusters used to exist, Kmart used to exist, so there is more opportunities even when my mom lost a job, or when my mom had to switch jobs. There's more opportunities even then. So if there's less now, then I'm definitely not having any kids because being that homeless stuff would suck. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom had to go to work, go find jobs, and then it was me and my sister stuck with the abuser guy or whatever, and we was knocking on people's door asking for food, you know what I'm saying? And this is where I actually learned to like root beer because my stomach was really, really hungry, and the one lady, all she could offer me was a root beer, and she offered me a root beer, and I ended up liking it. And so now that's my favorite soda, you know what I'm saying? But what else is there? Oh, I learned how to make this certain rice that you can actually have rice for as breakfast. I usually would think of rice as like Chinese food or, some stuff like that, or rice in a burrito. But my mom would make breakfast rice. She would use like white rice, and she would boil it, and then she would use milk. She would put milk in it and butter, and a little bit of ground cinnamon, a little bit of cinnamon, just a little bit, and she would use white cane sugar, and she would use raisins, and that would be like my favorite breakfast that she would make. I would love waking up to that smell, and because of that, I would learn to do that. She taught me how to make grilled cheese, So so I learned some stuff from her. I'm proud of it, and proud of my mom. I'm proud of especially the thing that that she never hit me, stuff like that. She only grounded me, only got put in the corner. And I think I would since other people was hitting me and stuff like that, I think that just made me appreciate my mom so much and the love that she had. Oh, and that money can't buy you happiness, but money can help. You know what I'm saying? You have better memories with events. Anytime my mom would get paid, okay, even on rent checks, okay, anytime my mom would get paid, boy, she would take me and my sister to Chuck E. Cheese. She would take us to go skating or something, go to a movie. My mom would actually be involved in our lives. You know what I'm saying? And I think the most thankful thing I'm thankful for my mom is that I'm just so happy that I got lucky. Because now, during that time there wasn't no Facebook. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't like a MySpace or a Facebook, and I was so lucky there wasn't. So with my mom, when she had me, the thing is that at least my mom had love for me. Like she didn't just have a baby because her friends was having babies. She didn't just have a baby because she wanted to post pregnant belly pictures and maternity shoots to get likes and comments. You know what I'm saying? And then my reason for existence was because she just wanted to copy what another woman did. Like on Facebook, or because she wanted to, like trap my dad or some shit like that. I'm just glad that she wasn't one of those type a woman, or just had me just to pressure my dad into marrying her or some type of shit like that a lot of girls on Facebook do. Now of course not all girls do that, but you know what I'm saying, just a lot of girls on Facebook be doing that type of stuff, and you can just easily see their friends do one thing, and then the girls will go and do the exact same thing their friends did, and take the exact same pictures their friends did, the exact same maternity shoot type of pictures, the exact same, the exact same. They do the same stuff, and so I'm glad that I'm here based off love, because some people, a lot of people now are here based off of a woman trying to pressure a guy to marry, and that's the reason. That's the baby's reason for existence. I got lucky that wasn't my mom. A lot of kids' reasons for existence here now is to trap a guy. I'm lucky that wasn't my mom. A lot of kids here now is here, just so they can look pregnant and get Facebook and likes and comments, and just to post maternity shoots like their friends is doing. And that's the reason for existence, not based off love. So I've got luck. I'm super duper lucky. And when I see my mom, I try to take the trash out. If she got dishes, I try to do the dishes. You know what I'm saying? If she wanted me to, I would fucking mow the lawn for my mom, man. I also like the fact that she participated, even though I was older. Like when I was like 20, when I was like 21, 22, my mom would still go outside with me, and I would just play catch with my mom. I would just play catch, or I would like to throw a ball and have my mom hit it with a bat or something like that, or play a little for just in the front yard, just throw frisbee. And that participation, I really liked that. I had that with my mom. I didn't have that with I like that, having that with my mom, and I was just so lucky, But if I can, man, I would just take care of your mom. If your mom never hit you, man, and she only grounded you and stuff like that, that's good. Take care of your mom. You know what I mean? That's just the best thing. What's up, Reggie? Peace, man. And that's just one of the best things, because for me, these are just some of the things that I learned from her that I hold really dear to my heart, and things like that. Some of the stuff I imitate myself, like I said, like the coming home saying, "Hi, baby, how you doing?" Just coming up with that coming home with that good energy. I come home, give my baby a little hug and a kiss. It's straight off the bat. And I learned that stuff from my mom. That love energy. You come home with love. Shit. And so that's basically all I can say. And plus the thing with the fishing, you don't waste a life. If you don't waste life, if you catch a fish or you're hunting, you don't hunt for sport. You hunt for only eating it, or you're going to use it. You're going to use that animal in some way, because you got to respect life. So these are just some of the things I learned from her, and just want to share. Thanks. Peace, y'all.